interruption, we've been able to first visit the labor ward as well as the maternity area. We have also seen the billing and discharge area in this facility. And we are happy to report that the system is up and running following great work. There was tireless and endless work among the technical team. I had instructed them to look at interventions to ensure that we don't have any kind of system interruption, have an alternative in case it do so happens. And we are happy to report to Kenyans that yes, we have an alternative system, and we have experienced and seen that there is no system interruption. The incidents occurred on the 14th and 15th up to 10 a.m. and the backlog has been sorted. Patients have again are receiving seamless services, and I want to assure Kenyans that health services will continue in the National Referral Hospital and other facilities, and will ensure that the services are seamless. Equally, we want to really apologize on behalf of the ministry for the challenges that our patients faced. As we had said earlier, this government is a people-centric.
The Kenya Union of Clinical Officers now wants the Ministry of Health to revisit shift treatment terms, which they claim has made it difficult for them to attend to patients, citing tedious process of seeking authorization from authorized medical officers under the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council, which they cite as the main reason depriving many Kenyans full access to medical services in lower government health facilities. At a press conference held at the Embu Level 5 Hospital, the clinical officers led by George Kibore, the Secretary General of the Union, they now want the Ministry of Health to give both clinical officers and nurses a green light to treat and attend to patients covered by SHA without seeking tedious approvals from licensed medical doctors in charge, saying many level 3s and 2s are mostly managed by nurses and clinical officers.
Officers of the government in the Ministry of Health have decided to violate the existing laws, and to that extent directing verbally what they feel that it is good. And if they feel that this is going to enhance service delivery, what they ought to do is to legislate. And now before they do that, the clinical officer will be starting their strike to enforce the law and order. And I must say, the second item of this is also similar, because we have had history with the government going on strike on the issues of promotion, seeking that they provide what is provided under the law, like comprehensive medical cover, and also ensuring that they can be able to treat people equally.
Na jambo la kusikitisha ni ya kwamba rais anasema SHA lazima ifanye kazi, lakini tumeona makatela ambao wameshika doria pale Ministry of Health ambao ni members wa KMPDC. Wamesema ya kwamba hakuna mtu mwingine anastahili kutumia SHA isipokuwa the only doctors. Kwa Ministry of Health tuko na different categories, ama tuko na wafanyi wahuduma wa afya wa vitengo tofauti tofauti ambao wamesomea vitu tofauti tofauti. Tuko nao wale wanaitwa medical doctors, tuko nao wale wanaitwa dentist, tuko na clinic officer ama maafisa wa kliniki, tuko na nurses na wengineo. Lakini kwa Ministry of Health ikiwa imeongozwa na waziri, wamesema ya kwamba it is only doctors can be allowed to use SHA. Mwananchi anajua kwamba ukifika pale hospitali kwa level 2 unapata nurse, unapata clinic officer. Ukifika level 3 unapata nurse, unapata clinic officer. Ukifika level 4 unapata nurse, a clinic officer ndio anafanya huduma, a medical doctor yeye ni administrator level 4.
Politics now. Kirinyaga County Governor Anne Waiguru has asked people from Mount Kenya region to reject any attempt by a section of leaders to drag them out of government. Waiguru said people from Kirinyaga will not abandon the Kenya Kwanza government for the opposition, noting that some quote-unquote sweet-talking politicians out of their selfish interests are busy trying to hoodwink people from the region to leave government. The governor said that all leaders hold public positions in trust and no one should hold the country at ransom for losing their seat. Waiguru also urged leaders in Mount Kenya region to stop the ongoing politicking and instead focus on fulfilling their development promises to the people.
Tumesema kama watu wa Mount Kenya, ndio kuna siasa ambazo zinaenezwa ambazo ni za kutoa Mount Kenya katika serikali. Na mimi kama gavana wa Kirinyaga na kama mmoja wa viongozi ambao ni wakuu Mlima Kenya, mimi nitasema hivi, na sipendi sana kuongea siasa kila siku kwa sababu tuko katika mhula wa kazi. Mimi kwanza niulize hawa watu wangu kwa sababu ya kamera. Kazi ambayo inafanywa Kirinyaga mnaiona ama hamuioni? Mnaiona ama hamuioni? Kazi inaongea ama haiongei? Kama tunataka kazi iendelee kuongea, tukue watu werevu. Tumesema kama nyumba yetu ile kubwa iko na mashimo, sisi hatubomoi nyumba, ni mashimo tutaziba. Si ndio watu wa Kirinyaga? Hivyo ndivyo tumesema. Alafu pia viongozi wengine hapo wamesema, sisi kwa Kikuyu tunasema watoto wakija waulize mama, baba yangu ni nani? Hauwezi ambiwa baba yako ni huyu anza kusema hapana sio yeye. Kwa sababu mwenye anajua baba ya mtoto ni nani? Ni mama. Mimi nikuwauliza kama watu wa Kirinyaga, nikiwaonyesha njia mtafuata? Mtafuata njia ambayo tutawaonyesha? Ndio tulete maendeleo Kirinyaga? Hebu nionyesheni kwa mkono ambao watakuwa wanafuata.
The Kenya National Union of Nurses in Mombasa want the Ministry of Health to heed to their demands if they are to go back to work. Speaking outside the Coast General Training and Referral Hospital, where they held their demonstration to mark the beginning of their strike, the Mombasa branch chairman Eric Otieno noted that the strike notice they had issued had elapsed and are officially on strike until their demands are met. Well, their demands include the permanent and pensionable contracts for the universal health coverage nurses and redesignation. At the same time, the branch secretary Emily Kurusoi reminded those seeking medical attention to do so, keeping in mind nurses are not on duty.
We have had issues. What has brought us here is because of strike. We gave our strike notice on 17th and it elapsed on 13th. That's why we are out today. This is our third meeting. We started on Monday, Tuesday, and now we are here again. The issues that we are talking about are not new because they are issues that we have been following up all along from back 2021 rolling. But now where it has reached us, imetufikisha kwamba now we have reached the dead end and we come out. We have been talking, but still we have not been able to actualize. So these are some of the issues. Among them, we have redesignations. There are some of us who have gone back to school. They have gained more experience, more training. They have come back, but they have not been placed rightfully as per the guideline. Among them, some are also issues about the UHC nurses. Yeah, these are people that have been engaged by the ministry but are serving the county, and we are asking that they also need to be absorbed PNP because what they are paid is not commensurate by what they are supposed to, the service they are giving.
I want to make this clear. It's only the nurses who are on strike. The clinical officers are there. The doctors are there. So the people who are out are only nurses. So if they want to go to the hospital, the patients to go and to be seen, doctors are there and clinical officers are there. They can go and be seen by them.
The last mile connectivity program underway aims at connecting an additional 1 million customers in the 2025 to 2026 period. The government is also addressing issues affecting power generation and evacuation to ensure reliability of lighting for households and industries. Deputy President Professor KINDIKI received an update of status of ongoing and planned last mile power projects across the country from the State Department for Energy and senior officials from the Kenya Power and Lighting Company and the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, REREC. Now, on Thursday morning, the Deputy Chief of Staff, Eliud Owalo, embarked on performance evaluation for the National Social Security Fund for the year 2023-2024. The evaluation is informed by the performance contract that the fund signed for the same activity period. The key parameters under the evaluation include membership contribution levels, employee coverage levels, benefit processing timelines, and return on investments, among others.
We are here to undertake performance evaluation for the fund for the period 2023-2024. You did sign a contract for that period with very, very clear interventions, the programs and activities that you intended to undertake. And for each and every one of those programs and activities, we had very clear expected outputs, the output indicators, and the time-bound targets. Those commitments were geared towards ensuring that there is growth and retention in the level of contributions. You also intended to increase the coverage of informal sector through strategic alliances and partnerships. You intended to generate competitive investment returns.
Now, a young girl who had to drop out temporarily from her secondary education after falling pregnant has surprised many by achieving a B- grade in the national KCSE exams. This is after being given a second chance through the Helping Hand to Teen Mothers program run by the spouse of the governor of Kakamega, Professor Janet Kasili Barasa. Speaking in the Butere region when she visited Dorcas Itinoti, one of the beneficiaries of the program, Professor Kasili expressed her joy at Dorcas's success and emphasized the importance of education as a tool to change lives. In addition, she called on the national government to increase funding for bursaries to help more needy students achieve their education dreams. Dorcas, who has restored hope in her family, dreams of studying nursing.
Mimi ni mzazi pia. Tafadhali tuwaelekeze watoto wetu kwa njia mzuri. Kuna majaribu mengi hapa katikati, especially teenagers. Majaribu ni mengi, hasa kwa watoto wasichana. Tuwaelekeze vizuri. Na watoto wavulana nao pia tuwaelekeze vizuri, kuambia kwamba wakae na watoto wasichana wenzao kama their sisters, not their wives. Wakae nao kama sisters and not their wives, ili waweze kupita kuendelea na masomo yao, wamalize kwanza. Kwa sababu imagine kama mtoto wako ndiye amefanywa, usitakasirika. Na wewe mbona uharibu wa mwingine? So wanaume, nataka tushirikiane. Tusaidiane ili watoto wetu wote wasome. Watoto wasichana wasome, watoto wavulana wasome.
Nashukuru gavana wetu wa Kakamega kwa sababu bila yeye singepata mama. Na nashukuru mama sana. Yaani hiyo programu yenye ulitoa ni ikanipata, ikanitoa kwa mchanga, ni ikaniinua. Nashukuru sana.
These girls have a potential to explore. And therefore we urge that this girl continues to undertake her career. Tunataka arudi kama arudi nyumbani, watu wajivunie. This village will not remain the same. Mama, ukisomesha msichana, umeelimisha mji yote.
I am grateful to the Almighty God for where I am today, and I'm grateful to Professor Janet for her program, A Helping Hand to Teen Mothers. It has really changed my life. Like, I feel like my dream of becoming a nurse is soon to become true, and it's all thanks to her.
11 students whose 2024 KCSE results were cancelled at Nyamninia Secondary School in Gem, Yala Sub-County will now get a second chance. According to the school's principal, Thomas Obura, those students will be allowed to resit the examinations in July, courtesy of the new arrangement that has now been introduced by the Kenya National Examination Council. Nyamninia Secondary School, which had an enrollment of 181 candidates in last year's KCSE, only received 170 results after 11 were cancelled due to alleged involvement in exam malpractice. He stated, however, that as an institution, they have already made plans to accommodate the 11 students whose results were cancelled so that they can sit the exams afresh under the new arrangement that will see some students sitting for the examinations in July this year.
One would ask what happens to the 11 who had Ys. We have sat as members of the board, and also during our senior management team meeting, we resolved that we are going to recall the 11 so that they can come and repeat, so that hopefully they can sit for KCSE in July. And I really want to thank the government for this new arrangement, because initially they would wait until probably the end of the year, but this time around we are going to give them a chance so that they can give it a second attempt. We expect them to be back here by Monday next week, so that we can start off with the rest of the other students. I want to thank our current Form 4 candidates, plus all the other students, for being calm.
A 30-year-old man stabbed his wife to death, then turned the knife on himself in Kabwareng village in Nandi South, following a domestic conflict where the two died on the spot. According to a police report, Hanise Simani Juma stabbed his wife Winnie Akusuha, 30 years of age, at her parents' home in Musasa, making several cuts on her neck, shoulders and hands, where she died on the spot due to overbleeding. Now, the man took rat and rat poisoning before slitting his neck, where he also died instantly. Their bodies were taken to Jumuiya Friends Kaimosi Hospital mortuary as police begin investigations. Nandi County Police Commander Dickens Njogu has confirmed the incident, saying DCI and other security agents have already visited the scene to establish exactly what really led to the murder incident and the suicide of the man at the couple's at the wife's parents' home. Now, the two have left behind two children, a boy and a girl, who have now become total orphans at younger ages. To Kajiado County, several families have been left counting losses after a fierce fire gutted down their homes at Enkare, Kitengela, Kajiado County. The 9 p.m. Wednesday fire is said to have been caused by a candle before it quickly spread to other houses. Occupants of the 9 rental iron sheet houses did not salvage any household items. Devastated victims say when the fire broke, neighbors focused on waking up others who were already asleep. Some say to have escaped burning by luck since they were deep asleep. Victims who are mostly neighbors responded promptly and focused on taking photos and videos at the expense of helping putting out the fire. Now, Kitengela fire engine, which arrived at the scene 30 minutes later, is said to have helped putting off the fire before spreading to other areas. The families now appeal to well-wishers and the county government emergency department to aid with bedding and food stuff.
Mimi nilitoka kwa nyumba, nilikuwa nalala mtoto wangu. Mtoto wangu anaona moto hapa juu, ananifuruta, ananiambia mama tutoke. Mimi nikaona hakuna kitu, nikaangalia nikaona moshi. Akaniambia mama tutoke. Tukatoka na manguo zenye tulikuwa tumevaa. Tulikuwa tumevaa manguo tu kwa na kitu kingine. Vitu zote zimeharibika zote, hatuna hata chochote. Na mimi ni mwanabiashara. Nilikuwa nafanya kazi na hii lori iko pale. Nilikuwa nauza mayai, mzee wangu ni ule pale. Sisi hatuna tegemeo, hatuna kitu kingine, hatunanga kazi. Kazi ni hiyo tu, na tuko na watoto na wako shule. Na sisi mimi naomba tu usaidizi, mnisaidie tupate mahali pa kulala na tumtumbaie hata chakula. Hatuna hata chakula tangu jana, hata tujakula. Hatuna chochote. Tunaomba tu usaidizi, tusaidiwe mahali penye tunaweza kaa. Tumbaiwe kitu, mattress, kitanda. Tuone venye maisha itasonga. Juu hata maya yangu imeharibika yote, nilikuwa nimenunua hapo kiletile za kazi. Singeweza kuenda kazi juu troli imeharibika yote.
Hakuna kitu tumeokoa. Watu walitoroka, kila mtu ile nguo alikuwa amevaa akatoroka akakimbia. Vitu zote zimechomeka kwa nyumba, mpaka mahindi, everything, kila kitu. Lakini after 30 minutes kizima moto ndio ilikuja ikatusaidia kusima moto na moto ikapungua. So hakuna, hao watu walikuwa hapa, hakuna mtu akona mahali ya kulala. Tunahitaji usaidizi kutoka kwa serikali, tunahitaji chakula, kuna wengine wao hawajakula. So tunahitaji serikali muweze kutushika mkono, muweze kutusaidia. Ile ingine inashukuru kwa ile sima moto ilikuja after 30 minutes ikatusaidia kusima moto. Lakini ile kitu mimi nashangaa, county hakuna mtu ameshafika hapa, watu wa county. Sasa ninashukuru sana. Asante.
Mwanzo wa moto ulikuwa kando lilianguka kwa mattress. Sasa ile kupata mattress kupata moto. Then hapa ndani kulikuwa na gas kama pia naye. Sasa moto ukawa mwingi sana. Sasa hata kuzima ikakuwa shida ama kuokoa.
All right, to sports. Harambee Stars have landed in the group of death of the delayed 2024 African Nations Championship CHAN, set to take place in August 2025, following the draw that was conducted on Wednesday evening at the Kenyatta International Conference Center in Nairobi. Kenya will debut the competition, which is for domestic-based players, in Group A that has Morocco and DR Congo, two of the most successful teams in CHAN. The tricky group also has in from Angola and Zambia. DR Congo and Morocco lead with most titles of the championship with 2 crowns each, while Senegal, the reigning champions, won their first CHAN title in 2022.
Hakuna kulegeza kamba. Mimi nimesema kwamba hakuna kulegeza kamba kwa matayarisho ya timu. Hakuna kulegeza kamba kwa ujenzi wa viwanja hapa Kenya. Sisi tutaendelea kama vile tulivyokuwa tumepanga mbeleni. Na haswa pia FKF wataendelea kufanya na timu yetu ya Harambee Stars ili kuzidi kuanoa makali wachezaji wetu.
Draw leo imekuwa, I think iko poa kwa sababu we have we can say group of death, na hizo ni game kubwa sana, na I think sisi wa Kenya inatuonesha lazima to prepare well to tackle those teams.
Group ni group of death, but for me ukiniuliza, I think it's good for us sababu inaenda ku prepare players psychologically, because kila player anajua wanaenda kukutana na timu ngumu, so wata prepare wakijua haiendi kuwa rahisi. So for me it's a plus.
Message yetu ni watoke pale nje wa support whoever will make the final squad, because all of us are Kenyans and we want the best for this country. So hii ndio tournament maybe inaweza kuwa our first step outside there to make a statement that also Kenyans are back on the big stage with the big boys.
Kwanza kabisa ni waombe wana East Africa wote, Kenya, Tanzania na Uganda. Haya mashindano yamekuja kwetu, tuwaonyeshe walioleta mashindano.
You know, Kenyans will never cease to amaze me at all, because the tournament hasn't even started yet, but we've already ruled ourselves out of the tournament. Let's give ourselves a chance, okay? Let's give ourselves a chance. That tournament was set to be held this January, actually, but has been pushed all the way to August so that, you know, preparations can be finalized. The stadiums that we are currently constructing, that is the Talanta City Sports Stadium, as well as, you know, renovations at Kasarani and the various training grounds as well. So it gives us time to very much prepare, not just in terms of the facility, but also in terms of what the performance should look like for the Harambee Stars. And as always, let's be patriotic so we've got the backs of our team, right? Okay, so we wrap it up at that point. Thank you very much for watching. Do join Martin Masharia on The Drift tomorrow morning. He'll be taking a look at the comedy industry, what that looks like at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. before Fred Njeri now picks up from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. with leadership. He'll be having a conversation around the oncoming February 2025 African Union elections, and the stakes are quite high for Raila Odinga. So much more of that tomorrow, right here on EBN TV. Thank you for watching. Good night. Have a blessed evening. Enjoy the rest of your programming.